Hey, Shannon.
Hey, Dom, how you doing?
I'm good, mate.
It's good that you're good.
Yeah. How are you, mate?
Hey, Dom, do you want to introduce the show?
Oh, yeah. Insert theme song here. I'm Dom, and I'm here today with my good buddy Shannon on An Appropriate Amount of Soup, a podcast where we talk about things we're reading, things we're writing, and our dumb ideas about other people's writings.
It's not easy, is it, Dom?
It's not. This is one of the most intellectually rigorous jobs available.
Now you'll respect the hosting position now that I've thrown you in the hot seat for once.
Yeah. Shannon is a true maestro at podcast hosting.
Thank you. That's all I've ever wanted you to say.
Yeah, well, you got it. Okay, good podcast. I never need to talk to Shannon again.
All right, wrap it up.
Okay.
Thank you for listening, ladies and gentlemen. It's been a treat. See you next time. And music.
Insert outro music.
Oh, good. It's already one of those episodes. Actually, last episode was one of those episodes. This one's not going to be one of those episodes. This one's going to be good times and no fighting to start us off. What we are going to start off with, Dom, is anachronisms in fantasy.
Yeah.
So I've got a little bit of discussion on that, but do you want to set the scene just for those that might not know what an anachronism is?
Anachronism is something in a piece of creative media, movie, book, play even, which is of the incorrect time.
Yes, and what does sometimes happen, and it's going to happen in my example because I've been listening to an audiobook of Stormlight Archive, and it's been quite good. But every now and again, the author Brandon Sanderson will drop in a little bit of modern language, and because it's a fantasy setting, you know, swords and shields and magic and all that gear, it just doesn't feel right. You're wanting someone to say my lord, not buddy or pal.
Hey mate, what's going on?
Yeah, it's wrong. It just does not feel right, and it can throw you out of the read.
Yeah.
And my favorite example, I know it can be used well, is in Wheel of Time. I think it's used expertly. Have you read Wheel of Time, Dom?
I have not. I have strong opinions about it, but I didn't like it.
All right. Is this another Lord of the Rings situation?
It is. I don't believe the hype is probably the best way. A friend said, you've got to read it. It's the greatest thing. It's going to be amazing. You're going to love it. And I just thought it was so slow. He goes, and then he goes, oh, you know what I love about it is that like you can read a whole book and it's just about a day. And I'm like, that's why I hate it. So anyway, moving on.
Yeah. The best. It's good for the slow build into the epic moments.
Yeah.
And those epic moments are so great, but you've got to spend 20 hours of reading to get to them. But what it does is, so with the Wheel of Time, it is, you know, a reincarnation cycle. The world.
I didn't
resets.
because I didn't get through the first book.
Yeah, that's why I'm explaining it to you.
Oh, thanks. I appreciate that.
So we're only in one cycle throughout the series of books, but it hints that, you know, they've gone through this process before, the world has ended, and then it rebuilds. Like the hero fights the bad guy, and then they come to a stalemate, and the bad guy gets locked away again, and blah, blah, blah. And this is meant to be the one where there's going to be progress. But because of that, there's elements where they find relics from cycles that have passed and all history has gone from them. And they hint that they are items from our time and our world, which is really fun. Like,
okay, that is cool.
I think at one point they find what sounds like the hood ornament off a BMW.
Oh, nice.
They find like a metal trinket and they describe the shape of it and things. And yeah, and you don't really pick up on it. It doesn't throw you out because it's not explicit.
Yeah.
But it's a little fun
I actually
Easter egg.
like that. Yeah. What I actually like, which I think is a really fun use of anachronism, is how Terry Pratchett does it by having a fantasy setting and just going, you know what? This whole continent is Australians and they're drunk. And they drink 4X and they call each other mate all the time. So
although I will say, I think is it Colour of Magic, his first book, that ends, and spoilers for an old book, ends with them teleporting onto a plane?
It doesn't end with it, in the middle of it.
Because I hate that scene. That throws me right out.
I remember I read Colour of Magic, or whichever one that was, the first time when I would have been like maybe 15, 16. And then I read it again like 10, 15 years later and realized the first time I hadn't even understood that scene. It had just passed me by. I had no memory of it at all. I thought that they were in the intestines of a dragon, I think.
Right. And for anyone listening who hasn't read the book and is confused, it's a fantasy novel. And I can't remember what the context is, but one scene they get teleported onto a modern airplane.
And Rincewind becomes like a Danish professor or something. Their names change. It was, I like the artifice of it, but apparently you don't.
No, I mean, not my favorite Discworld, but Terry Pratchett hadn't really found his stride by that point. That was one.
The first few.
It's the earliest, yeah.
Yeah. The first few are a bit clunky, 'tis true.
It gets better.
It does.
It's best.
One of the things I do like about fantasy writing is that you can justify the anachronism if you feel like it. Like steampunk, for example, or just the idea that, most of this you can understand from a historical earth-based experience. But we decided the Roman legions have shotguns. Deal with it, or something like that.
Yeah, but you can't have microfiche. That's where you draw the line, is it, Dom?
That is exactly where I draw the line. And at this stage, Shannon is referring to him, I think, trying to just hurry the plot of our novel along and help the protagonist Henry find something he needed to find by using microfiche. And I put my foot down. I said, no, this is steampunk, not fish punk. It's a different genre.
Yeah, well, I was talking about tiny little fish. I wasn't talking about the slides and whatnot. It was Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy inspired.
I know you're lying because you called it microfiche, not microfish.
Yeah. All right, fair enough.
Yeah.
Well, I tried. And
hey, can I ask a question? It's a pretty important question. Okay.
Actually, I changed my mind. Go for it.
What number episode is this?
This is our 10th episode spectacular.
Woo! Double figures! They said we couldn't do it. And by they, I mean my wife.
How many did she give you?
2 or 3.
And then you're going to get bored of it and move on.
No, especially after she listened to the first one. Because she thinks that, or she thought that if I wasn't actually producing something worthwhile and good, that I'd stop. The fool. That's never going to stop me. I'm producing drivel with my friend and I will continue to do so.
No, hold on. How dare you?
How dare you?
How absolute dare you? This is some of the greatest content known to man.
Oh, I agree, but my wife doesn't.
I will say, if we're considering this under the context of content, and if you've seen what constitutes content on the internet, we're probably in the top percentile of quality. We're doing all right.
Well, I was going to say we're slightly above average. I like to think we're the Starbucks coffee of internet content. Like, we're not great, but you can rely on us when you're in a third world country.
See, I was more thinking we're like your local that's not fantastic. there's
but you feel obliged to support anyway because Keith's a nice guy.
They're nice guys. There's not a lot of people there. You've got to support them. If I don't, who will?
Exactly.
And we'd like to thank you for supporting us.
Yeah. We've had a few more listeners of late than we've ever had before, and the popularity's going in my head. Yeah,
pressure's on.
Yeah.
And I guess that means we should just get on with the actual show and stop the preamble. People have high expectations of us now, don't
if you can hit us up on social media and let us know which bit is better, the preamble, the garbage,
or the amble.
The preamble garbage or the amble garbage. Or do we have a post-amble?
Sometimes.
Sometimes.
That's the soup ratings. That's soup ratings is post-amble.
Oh, okay. It's the post-amble. Well, let us know which amble you're a fan of.
Yes.
But
the amble today we're going to be looking at the book Impossibles, Yukako the Uniter. And this is by Tanikia Wise Fisher. And for anyone who's jumping in... Oh, what?
Sorry. Is that really what it's called? I thought it was called Peace and Fire.
That's the name of the chapter.
Oh, man. Yep. Correct.
Yeah? Yep. You're testing me.
Yeah, I was just checking.
Yep. So anyone jumping in for the first time, the way that this works is I'm going to provide a quick little summary of the first chapter of this book. Dom and I have both read the first chapter. Some of us have read the title of the book, others have not. And then following our little summary, we are going to try and reinvent the story and see how close we get. Well, we won't check how close we get. We'll read the blurb at the end, and hopefully the author might leave a comment somewhere and let everyone know if we got close or not. That'd be lovely if you could do that, Tanikia. So let's have a look. So Tanikia Wise Fisher is an Australian author who wrote 7 novels in 8 months, thanks to sheer hyperfixation. Has now released 6 of these novels on Amazon and D2D, doing so every 3 months. She's been daydreaming about impossibles since she was 7 years old, and after a spur-of-the-moment decision, began to write and hasn't stopped since. She has a fiery passion for creativity and is known as always tired to her followers because she is a chronic insomniac who never knows when it's time to put the laptop away and sleep. Is also a discovery writer with a plan which helps to add the speed and productivity. So the complete opposite of our operation model, Dom, where we just, take 18 years to write a sentence.
Is there a judgment call there?
Against us for our lack of productivity?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I like to think it's about quality, not quantity.
We got to work on the quality as well at some point, do we?
Yeah, I know. Well, one thing at a time.
I was just going to hoik out any old schlock.
Yeah, we have nothing.
We're trying. But let's look at this one. So this, I believe, it's got the number 3025. I believe that is the year. I'm going to make an assumption that we are set in the year 3025. We find ourselves
3025. I thought that was the cost of the book, which I thought was called Peace and Fire.
This is why I'm the host.
Yep. Thank you for correcting that.
No, hey, anytime, buddy. I got you back. So we're on an island. We are hidden from humanity for over 1,000 years. There is a father by the name of Jackal. He is telling a story to his 2 children. The story is about Yuka the Brave. She had black wings and she led the Anua clans away from the tyranny of humanity to the island. There is a prophecy that says the Anua will return to humanity when people aren't so dang greedy for that sweet Anua power. It is revealed that the 2 children have that sweet Anua power, as do the parents. Now, I'm going to take a moment here to try and get my pronunciations right with you, Dom. Yukako? It feels like a Japanese-inspired name. Is that the vibe you're getting?
Or Cambodian. I had a good friend in Cambodia called Yuka.
Yuka.
Yeah, there you go.
That's all I have. So we're going Yukako? Is that Anuta? Let's do that.
Anuta.
and Yuta. Yuta's easier than Yukako. And we find out that there are angels in this world. Jackal's wife Ruby comes along to scold him for having the children so close to a cliff when their powers have not activated yet. Silly Jackal. We find out that there are two types of special magic-y people here. There are the barrier users, and there are the ones that can fly, which are referred to as the angels. The family return to the camp that they are from their clan, which is the barrier user clan. They're packing up for the night when news, angels are coming and they're going to attack. Now, Jackal is one of the angels. Mum is one of the barrier users. And Jackal's brother is leading the angels and he's going to try and reason with them. Yukako reveals to her brother Yuta that she has awoken barrier powers. We discover that the two children are the first barrier angel hybrids, so they weren't sure which powers were going to awaken in them, or perhaps both. But no time for that, because boom, big time energy beam rocks through the camp. The angels are here and they shoot lasers. The barrier users are not strong enough to stop them with their barriers. Yukiko watches as the defenders are overrun and killed. Her own barriers protect her just enough, as she hasn't encountered an angel directly, so she's just got little bits of explosions going around. She's all right. We are given the impression that her brother may have died. She finds blood. And it says something about she knows whose blood that is, but it's not explicit. So he could come back as the mysterious Racer X. You got that reference? I was wondering if you would.
Keep going.
I want to talk about Speed Racer for a bit. No. Yukiko's father finds her amidst the chaos, but he is quickly cut down. Yukiko escapes to the forest, but trips. She hits her noggin. She passes out while the clan are wiped out. And that is our first chapter. So, Dom, where would you like to take this story from here?
Well, she wakes up and it was all a dream because this just seemed a bit sad.
Yeah. The end.
The end.
Soup ratings. What do you think?
Yeah, I thought it was a bit short. I'm going to be honest. Okay. No. So she wakes up. Her village is burning, corpses, maggots, flies, weird, super hyper developed cat/crocodile hybrids eating the corpses. Really weird stuff going on. But clearly, she needs to get moving because the angels are still around.
Uh-oh.
She can't. They have actually moved into the village. It wasn't just that they wanted to wipe out the people. There's something in the village. There's something in this dwelling that's important because, it talked earlier about how they had separated from humanity. Did you mention that? They separated from humanity because humanity was really bad and they came to this place and they'd actually developed something that is hinted at that is going to be the important thing to bring people back with humanity, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they're bringing their weird technology, angel technology, to harvest this strange thing, right? She sees this, but then there's a crack of a broken branch behind her in the jungle. And so she runs away, but something follows her as she runs. And finally she finds herself, she gets into a little copse, which has some overgrown vines and such, and she hides in the vines. And she looks to see how she's being chased. Who's chasing her? Who's chasing her, Shannon?
So she is fortunate at this stage. It is not one of the angels. They are preoccupied trying to find the McMuffin.
Yep.
But just as devastating, the catadile alluded to earlier is stomping its way through the forest floor. Face of a cat, body of a crocodile, which I guess is probably the way you want it, really, between your options. But still, nasty.
Amusingly, I did actually imagine it the opposite way.
I know.
But
Well, that's the
you're
threatening way.
You're better.
So it won't hurt you, but it does have a large raspy tongue.
Yeah.
So
it will lick you quite abrasively.
It is known for absolute chafing. And so she goes off and she hides, and it's sniffing around. And think about, I know, Dom, you love Lord of the Rings, particularly.
So much.
And you love the film. So think of that scene where the hobbits are hiding from the Nazgul, and they're behind underneath that tree root, and it looks over, and it's all very scary. And
Yes, that's true.
That's Gollum. You've done Gollum there.
Really?
Was that meant to be a Nazgul?
Yeah, it was just meant to be that sort of weird blowing in the wind noise they make.
Do it again.
No. Now I'm shy.
No, don't be shy. Come on. Yeah, okay. Now do it ordering a pizza.
Capricciosa.
Fantastic.
And
so
some mozzarella sticks.
So the Catadile orders a pizza, and while Yukako is hiding, there is footsteps. This one is much more humanoid. There is not the scuffling of a crocodile, and a angel appears, and the angel clearly knows.
Oh,
yeah,
that type of angel. Sorry, I got carried away.
Yeah, and clearly knows where she is. Like, the angel is looking right at her, and because it's obviously a spinning ball of eyes. No, we're not going to do that again. We've done that. This time
we've been through that.
We've done that gag. This one's just going to be a regular old angel from Touched by an Angel, one of those ones.
So it's Michael Landon. Was he?
Yeah,
yeah, it's him.
Was he the angel of death? Is that?
No, he was just the nice angel, wasn't he?
I don't know. I didn't look. My mum watched it back in the day, and I saw snippets. So yeah, there's an angel, and the angel, though, all the angels in the village have white wings. This one has black wings. And Yukaku's like, it can't be. It can't be. Is that? And I'm going to just scroll up and just double check that's Yuta. Was that? Yeah, Yuka. Is that Yuka the Brave, the angel of our prophecy and our history, and who set all this in motion? Could that possibly be her? Have I hit my head too hard? What's going on here? Dom, what's going on here?
I literally have no idea. Because there's a whole bunch of stuff going on all of a sudden, and there's a lack of exposition. So, this chapter, before this chapter, I think it would be up to chapter 3, 4, whatever. There's how sometimes they have a long introduction in italics, and so this is the actual poem that is the myth about Yuka, the angel, right?
Now, if it doesn't rhyme, Dom, rhyme, we're going to have words.
Okay, so I'm now going to recite it to you. There once was an angel called Yuka.
There once was an angel from Nantucket.
No, and anyway, this poem, it's quite long. It's one of those very self-indulgent authors who feels obliged to have huge amounts of their own poetry in their book, even if it's not very good.
Tolkien.
I'm looking at
Jordan.
You, Stephen Erickson. I'll tell you what, I didn't read any of your poems at all. Apparently you didn't have to, because the book was still incredible without it. Anyway, and what we discover, yes, is that the myth says that Yuka, who was there at the beginning, will return, black wings, eyes like fire, I don't know, farts that automatically ignite, a whole bunch of stuff like this. But that the thing about Yuka that you have to be aware of is that they're very fickle. So them saving humanity might be good for humanity, is probably going to be quite bad for you. So we finish this poem. If you don't read this poem in the book, a lot of what happens next might not make sense. because Yukika, what's her name?
Yukiko?
Yukiko is terrified. She knows, she was always big into a bit of mythology. She knows that if she personally interacts with Yuka, it's probably going to go very poorly for herself. So she's fully Frodoing. She's digging deeper. She's trying to get under the leaves. She's trying to get that peat moss and bracken all over her so he can't see it, and she buries. And then with a gesture of his hand and a voice like a Nazgul, it all gets ripped off. And he says, Yukiko, stop messing around. We've got stuff to do. And she comes out and she's standing next to him. And as she stands next to him, she's just overwhelmed by the immense power emanating out from him. He's this, incredibly powerful man. And, angel, what is he? And that's what she says. She says, Yuka, what are you? Because clearly he's not a well-defined ancestor of either the barrier keepers or the angels. What is he, Shannon? What does he say?
Yeah, and Yukako's just like, in all the myths, you were a woman. I believe I read that you were a lady. And Yuka is, nah, I'm not now. Don't mind that first chapter. Yeah, I was just tricking. I'm just a silly little angel. And Yuka explains, and this is 10 chapters of exposition after the 13-chapter epic poem that precedes it. And this is where Yuka discusses that the angels and the barrier users weren't actually separate beings. They were never meant to be separate. The angels had both gifts. And then over time, it's been 1,000 years, and there's been those that were stronger in one or the other went one way or the other, and then there was infighting between them, and it's caused a whole schmozzle now, and we've got to the point where those that have the gift of flight and wings can't access their barrier powers anymore. Those that have the ability to use their barrier powers can't access their angel powers anymore. And there's infighting between the two. And the whole thing was meant to be about hiding away from humanity until humanity stopped being so greedy about these gifts and wanting these gifts for themselves. And then they were going to return. Now we don't even have peace amongst ourselves. And, Yukako's like, this is some really good exposition here, but my family has just been killed. And there's a whole, there's a big old fire and stuff going on. I'm pretty sure there's a catadile knocking about as well.
Yeah,
we've been talking for a while here. And Yuka's like, look, that stuff doesn't bother me too much because I'm pretty powerful, and we're actually inside a barrier right now, and you're safe and you're protected. And what we're going to do is we're going to head off. I'm going to take you to a safe place where we are going to look at what happens next. And Yukaku's like, well, what happens next? Can you help me find my brother? I'm really worried that he's been killed in this incident, and we need to go and rescue him. And Yuka's like, yeah, maybe. Just come with me, and we'll go check that out. Yuka the Fickle may or may not. We'll see what happens. So they run off. They go to a safe place to plan our next set of events, Dom. And that leads us to a Dom chapter.
So they go to the safe place. They pierce the barrier. They leave this island altogether.
Wow.
Yeah. That's the noise it makes. And
I think that got cancelled by your noise filter, Dom.
Oh,
I don't think that got picked up. I'll put it in post.
And can I try a softer one?
Try.
Did that work?
Yeah, I heard that. There you go.
Okay. So they pierce it and they go up, and she's looking down, and she always thought, Yukiko had always thought and been led to believe that they like lived on a little island on a planet, right? So there's island surrounded by sea. On other parts of the planet are other land masses on which she suspects the bad humans from which they separate all that time, right? But actually, as she flies up, she finds out that her island, like the entire world she knew, which had the angels and the barrier keepers and all this, that's it. It's just floating in space. It's basically a satellite 50 million miles from Earth. Just on its own. And Yuka has he takes her to a safe place, which is his spaceship. And he's got this super sick, think the Naboo ship from Phantom Menace. Just all chrome all day, except bigger and cooler. And they get on the ship and Yukiko has this like real sense of reverence and deference because, you know, this is basically she's interacting now with someone she thinks of as a demigod. But what we find out is that actually Yuka's just a space Chad. He's just like, he's a bro, man. And he's up there. He's not even on his own. He's got like a whole frat up there. And it turns out all the myths and stuff hark back to the time when humans first came to this area. And the thing about Yuka, it wasn't that he was above it all and that he sent them away with, you know, sent them off on this grand mission. He was just kind of sick of them and just wanted to party. And they were all like, no, we don't want to party. We want to like find a planet and inhabit it. And he's like, no, man, I want to play beer pong with my bros. And they're like, yeah, but we're going to run out of food. And he's like, no, we're not. We've got this like nuclear food processor that we can live on forever. And they're like, man, all it makes is tater tots and hot dogs. And he's like, I don't care. Me and my bros don't care. So they leave and go down to the planet. And this is like, what, 6, 7, 8, 900 years ago. Whole time, you got beer pong. Man, he is so good at beer pong by now because that's all him and his bros do. And the reason he stayed in the mythology is while the rest of the bros were 100% focused on frat boy stuff, he was only like 98% focused, and he would return to the planet every so often and just pop in and go, hey guys, have you heard about Yuka? He's kind of cool, hey? Yeah, just let's talk about him some more. And then go back. So it was just a massive ego stroke for him. And everything, like, and she remembers this poem about how fickle he is. And the thing is, the beautiful sort of meta narrative here is when you reread that poem now, discovering that Yuka is not fickle as a god, but fickle as a teenage boy, it makes so much more sense.
He's fickle in that the backstory about him is fickle. It just changes constantly.
No, it's completely accurate. It's just read through a lens you wouldn't expect.
Oh, okay, good.
Okay. And then and Yukiko is livid. This is actually more than one chapter. This is a few chapters of slowly unfolding irresponsibility.
Yeah, this is a novel.
Yeah. Well, just this idea, you know, like when they first get there, it's like, he seems a bit off. There's something a little odd. And then the next chapter, you're like, oh, wow, it must be because he's fickle. And then the next chapter, you're like, oh, it's because he's a douche.
Mm.
And so Yukiko finally comes to this realization. She's been up there for about 4 days, and again, it's about what lens are you looking through? Because to begin with, how she describes things leaves a bit of ambiguity. I think this was fantastic writing. You know, when I read this in my brain, the way that it's really quite ambiguous what she's talking about at first, and then it becomes clearer and clearer until it's obvious that no, there is no ambiguity. These guys suck. And this is where she is. What does she say to Yuka?
Look, I think for the most part, she's worried about the fact that my family have died.
It's like, oh, bro, man, don't be such a downer.
Yeah. Takes her up to a frat party. She's
Yeah.
like, don't worry about it. It's fine. Just let's play beer pong.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure my brother might still. I saw my dad get stabbed like to death. I haven't seen what's going on with my mum. I assume nothing good has happened. I've watched my whole town burn to the ground with angel laser beams. Pow pow.
Pew, pew, pew.
And I think my brother's, he's left a bloody puddle on the ground somewhere. Can we please do something about this? And I think Yuka finally is just, you know what? Just complaining for a long time, little lady. So, you know what? Let's just do it. We'll go down. We'll have a look at your stupid family. We'll find the corpses, whatever. And so he takes her by the hand and he teleports because it's faster and we don't have time. We're already like 3 novels deep. So he's learnt to teleport now.
There's a really long chapter explaining the mechanics of teleportation.
It just has Stephen King's The Jaunt in there, like the entire short story. Just it gets pinged for plagiarism, but it's fine. Don't worry about it. So they jaunt their way down to the clan. It's longer than you'd think. And then when they get, huh?
You can't say the clan.
Oh, not that clan.
Oh, okay, different clan. Just,
different clan.
Wow, those guys survived. All we got is frat boys and clansmen.
No, clan with a C.
Okay,
With a C. Yeah, I'll specify there. No, the other ones are off with the Catadile. And so they get there, and the whole town is a smoldering mess. It's obviously the fires have burnt out over the last few days, but it's still a few embers and bits and pieces, smoke and smolder and charcoal. And Yukako goes for a rummage, and she's trying to find anything left of her family, of her friends, of her community. And she starts to actually be able to draw into her barrier powers as she's here, because just that emotional rush, that desperation, she's not just, they were the people had only ever used them to shield themselves. She's actually pushing them outwards and using them to push away rubble and debris. A la Sue Storm of the Fantastic Four, using it outwardly to maneuver.
Fantastic reference there.
Thank you. Just to put that in someone's mind. She discovers her brother amongst all the rubble. He's unconscious, but he is breathing. And what shocks her most is when she discovers him, he has wings formed on his back. And his powers have emerged and potentially protected him. As the angels were going around looking for people, they were probably finding any survivors and making them non-survivable, as it were. And they found an angel. The angel has been left. And so he's there breathing amongst absolute destruction. And Yuka in that setting, you go, oh, cool. Hey, that's your brother. Yeah, sweet.
We good now, bro?
Yeah, while you guys do that, I'm just going to go down here and check on this McMuffin that was mentioned earlier. I'll be right back. And he leaves. And we follow him to the McMuffin. Dom, what happens there?
Well, he gets to the McMuffin and...
Oh, sorry. Did I say McMuffin?
Yeah.
I meant McMuffin.
Okay, he gets to the McMuffin, and that's another actual poem about the McMuffin, and what we discover that it is after 1,000 years of exile from Earth, the sausage and egg McMuffin specifically has become an object of like mythical proportions. And just as a side note, because I do love to bring up the differences between Australian and American culture. Man, I love McDonald's. Like, genuinely, my first proper job was working at McDonald's. I ate all the food then. I think the McRib is one of the greatest inventions in humanity. I love shaker fries. I don't know if you remember them when they went
they
through
were
a bit of
good.
a
Yeah.
Mexican
Just
phase.
MSG.
Yeah, just MSG. American McDonald's is so awful. Like, it's the thing about McDonald's in Australia and in other countries I've eaten it is it's food masquerading as garbage. It is actual food, and you know it's bad for you, but it's food. In McDonald's, it's just garbage. It's like so bad. I have an iron gut. I can eat anything except American McDonald's. Anyway, that's one little bit of the poem, what I just said, but a lot more poetic. Mostly it's an ode to Australian McDonald's. Anyway.
Yeah. But we're not gonna compare Australia to America, Dom, because 60% of our listenership are from the US, and we love the US. And
We
we're
do
not
love
gonna
the US.
just
I
not your
live
McDonald's.
here. I just want you, my fellow Americans. Oh, no. I don't like the sound of that. I want to know... I'm not American. My fellow citizens. No, I'm not a citizen. Anyway,
If you say my fellow Americans, you have to do the Obama voice. That's mandatory.
my fellow Americans.
That was
I
rough.
just want you to know it gets better. Yeah, no, Obama is not in my repertoire of voices I do. In fact, very few people are. Anyway, back to the story. So he's looking at the McMuffin, and he hears a noise behind him. It's the click clack. You know that famous of the cocking of a shotgun. Because anachronism. I've just decided that they have very, very different technology from what we're used to. Sort of in many ways, they're primitive. They have this weird magic thing. They have this tribal thing, and pump action shotguns for that noise. So anyway, there he is. He's looking at the McMuffin. He's remembering the poem. And he turns around and there's angels. And these angels, they have wings, but it seems like they're not able to shoot laser beams out of their eyes, hence the shotgun. And he turns around and he goes, nah, bro. And then it switches. And it switches to old Yukako and her brother Barry, because I forgot his name. What's his name?
Yuta
and Yukiko. And guess what sound they hear?
Is it chick?
Same sound. Pump action shotgun. The angels are there. They've got to shut their corner them, and they look at them and they go, "You dumb bastards! It's a schooner."
No. Dom, you got to, no. They need to have a southern drawl.
You dumb bastards! It's a schooner, not a sailboat. And they go, "You just fell into our trap, you dumbasses! You even brought Yuka with you." Bum bum bum. What happens next? I don't know. I am so overwhelmed with anxiety for where this is going.
Scooter is a sailboat.
Yes.
I've seen movies too, Dom. I get the references.
I hope other people do.
Summer, please. There's enough nonsense without it. Okay, so our hillbilly angels round everyone up, and they start heading off, and they're starting to go deeper into the forest. There's a kid angel in a rocking chair with a banjo. It's just ding 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 ding. There's this amazing scene actually where we discover that Yuta plays the guitar, and they go back and forth. Some might even say in a duel. In a duel of banjos.
What a beautiful sense of deliverance this brings to us.
That's not a sailboat. And then they... I've lost my train of thought. They go to the angel camp, because why not? And what Yukako and Yuta discover is that the angels have taken the McMuffin, which, being that it's over 1,000 years old, is just this giant green ball of mold at this point.
I'm sorry, I'm going to have to stop you there. Because countless studies have shown McDonald's products do not develop mold. Continue.
Not even after 1,000 years?
Not even after 1,000 years.
Well, let's call it an anachronism.
I love it. I love it. Yeah, well done. Well done. Sorry.
It's a fantasy world.
I should have noticed that.
Yeah. And it's become this item of worship. And what we discover, and our characters don't discover yet, we get this through narration, is that, and the angels know this, this is where the powers come from. It's actually
from the McMuffin.
Yeah, well, from the mold.
I knew it.
If you've got black mold in your house, you'll get superpowers. Breathe a lot around it. Deep breaths, and you'll develop, like the power to, rot out your lungs.
Yeah,
that's a type of power. In this case, barrier powers and angel wings, and this is what humanity have sought. And Yuka didn't want them to have it because I don't know if you've ever tried to play beer pong against someone who has barrier powers.
Oh, I can see that that's annoying.
Yeah, so you bounce that ball and it just hits a barrier. And then they laugh at you. And, oh, you're just a stupid angel with stupid wings. You can't even play beer pong. It's like, no, that was going in, you idiot. It's a thing. Yeah. It just becomes a thing. So that's that. He wanted to take that away from humanity. He wanted to take that away from all of the angels as well. But what he found was, even once hiding it, they just had a tendency to build clans with a C around the moldy McMuffin. And then, so it just kept happening. And the angels worked that out, and they're like, no, we're going to get our barrier powers too. We're tired of this nonsense. We want to be cool barrier users. And and Yuka's confused. It's like, why have you taken these two kids as well? And they talk to Yuka and discuss. And this is Jackal's brother. He's the angel boy. His name's Hyena.
Ooh. Because
they themed their naming conventions,
as all good fantasy everything's do.
Yeah. So Hyena's talking to Yuka and so, well, these two children are the first children that were angels of angel blood that were raised near the moldy McMuffin and have both sets of powers. These are going to be the forebearers of a brand new world, and they are going to take us. Don't you dare shut your eyes. They're going to take us into the depths of space. They're going to reintegrate us into, the throes of humanity and humankind, and we are going to be into the world once more. And Yuka, you big ninny, you cannot stop us now. Dom, how's Yuka going to respond to that?
Yuka just, he takes this moment. He takes a deep breath, like he's centering himself. And then he looks at Hyena, and he's like, nah, bro. No way they're the first ones who could do this. You guys are so out of touch with what's really going on. And Hyena's like, oh, man, you don't know nothing just because you're some mythological figure. What have you got that we don't got? Look at, we're sick of it. We're sick of it. We don't even need gods anymore. And Yuka goes, yeah? All right. Well, we have to decide this the traditional way. And Hyena's like, more trial by combat? He's like, no. It's like, like a well-worded argument? He's like, no. It's like the only way? Beer pong. We've been doing it forever. It's the foundation. on which all of this lies. He goes, that McMuffin, you know where that came from? That McMuffin was the prize the last time I lost beer pong 1,000 years ago.
Whoa.
And my friend, Jojo, who came down, he won. He took his prize, which was the McMuffin. But the real prize that we didn't realize was that he came down to the planet. He was the last person to come from the spaceship to the planet, the last bro. And I've actually spent the last 1,000 years making sure everyone forgot about him because I was so embarrassed. Oh, yeah, by the way, something interesting I found. If you stay in the spaceship, you live forever. It's not because I'm anything special. It's just, I don't know what happened. Anyway, when I come down to the planet, I actually start to age. So I am, I've aged more today than I have in the last 300 years. Anyway, beer pong, because I want to show you something. And here's the deal. You can use your powers. You can do whatever you want. You can do anything, and I'll still beat you. And so Hyena's like, if I can use all my powers, there's no chance. There's nothing you'll be able to do to beat me in my amazing beer pong. And so Yuka's like, I think you underestimate the power of my beer pong. And so they go and play beer pong. And what happens?
I just had a moment while you were describing that chapter.
I was watching you and it looked like you had an aneurysm, actually.
It all just clicked as to what our story is. It's just... So they're having a game of... An angel, or two angels, are having a game of beer pong to win a moldy McMuffin. What the hell? Yeah.
Yeah.
So they do...
I don't see the problem.
No, it's fine. So they have their game of beer pong. And Yuka is dominating, right?
Of course.
And because, of course, Yuka would. And, there's a bit of back and forth. Hyena, every time he goes to try and, score, it looks like he's going to score. It's almost as if the ball hits something and falls out. And then, as they're getting towards the end of the game, and, Yuka's taunting him the whole way and just being a frat douchebag about the whole thing. Hyena works out, hold on, is that a barrier? Are you creating little barriers? And Yuka's like, nah, bruh. Nah, what? Nah. Yeah, that was the whole reason that I moved this whole thing. I didn't want people cheating at pong, like beer pong. What? I'm not going to start doing that. And Jackal's like, no, Hyena. Sorry, Jackal's the real one. Hyena's like, nah, I'm pretty sure you're cheating, y'all. And then all of the angels behind Yuka, like 1,000 shotguns. All point. Everyone's got a shotgun. Even that kid puts down his banjo, picks up his shotgun.
Ding, 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 ding.
And Yuka's like, no, seriously, bruh. Like I didn't cheat. Too late. The angels fire. Yuka is a pulp. Unfortunately, they were in a circle around, so a whole bunch of angels died as well, but most of them survive. They didn't think that one through. And then our scene takes us back to the... are they twins or are they just brother and sister? I'm going to call them twins because it's easier.
Okay.
And Yuta's like, what? But I didn't see him make any barriers. And then there's Yukako sitting there making barriers around cups. I'm sick of this guy. He's being a jerk. So she cheated and made sure that he'd lose. That he'd win because they'd know that he was cheating. She set this whole thing up. She wanted the McMuffin for herself.
Mm.
Why did she want the McMuffin, Dom?
Well, we're going to find out because what happens? Bam, explosion, smoke, cordite, few angels get hit because shotguns actually famous for not being pinpointly accurate. So there's a lot of what do we call it? Friendly fire, collateral damage. But yeah, Yuka is lying on the floor, pretty much just a skeleton at this stage. Like basically everything extant of his bones gone, just bones with guts inside, lying on the floor. And Yukako goes, "You dumb bastards." And they all like, and they turn around to face her, and guess what she's got in her hand? The McMuffin. And she just like hoofs it. Just like bam. And the thing is, what she discovers as she eats it is that I was right. McDonald's food does not age. The mold, it was all just a prop to make it look like that was what was giving them powers. Whereas what actually happened is that by the time humanity came to this little satellite, and she worked this out, there's a poem about it. By the time humanity came to this little outpost, they had, for the most part, been able to develop a whole range of psychic psionic abilities. Barrier, angel, they were just a couple. There were actually more. There were more tribes that got sent to different tribes, not clans, that got sent to different little satellites all over the show. And part of the reason that they developed these powers was from the food they ate. What did they eat? Just McDonald's. 100% Australian McDonald's. It's all they ate. So
Angus beef, baby.
Oh, yeah, come on. I'll tell you what, Australia, the best. Can you still get a McFeast? Have you been to McDonald's, Ruth?
Yeah, I took school holidays here. I took the kids. I don't think so.
Oh, that makes me sad. That was always my favorite burger. Anyway, so she pounds the McMuffin, and it basically unleashes her potential.
Awesome.
She was the first, what was it? The first angel raised by barrier keepers, and that's why she thought she was special. Her dad was an angel. She had all these things, and same with her brother. Like they sort of believed they were the children of destiny because of the stories their dad told them. But he knew a deeper poem. He knew the poem that really mattered, which was, when we get our hands on some Maccas again, everything's going to be awesome.
Hell of a poem.
In America, Macca's is what we call Mickey D's in Australia. It's better. I'm
sure they could work that out from the context clues.
You'd be surprised. I just want to make sure.
The people that listen to us, they're pretty clued in.
Oh,
they know what's what.
Go, guys, get on a plane, go eat some Maccas. So her power's unleashed. They every shotgun goes off. This time, not in a circle. They're all pointing at her, and she's just like Neo in the Matrix. Yeah. She just holds her hand up. She's barrier queen now. She just ate a McMuffin. All of them drop, and she goes, "Oh, do you remember this one?" Pew! Beams comes out of her eyes. Just blows them all up. Kills everyone in the room except for Hyena and Yuta. And then she does this sort of weird thing. She goes, Hyena, have you seen this one? She does this weird thing with her hand, and energy coalesces, and the blood all rushes out from all of the angels she just killed and rushes into Yuka. And Yuka's just like, "Whoa, bro, I feel fine. Oh my goodness, did you eat some Maccas?" And she's like, "Yeah." He goes, "Oh man, there was a poem about that, but I can't remember what it said." End of chapter. Short chapter. It's the poem about what happens when you eat Maccas. What's in that poem?
It's just the that Big Mac.
2 all beef patty, special sauce, mashed cheese, pickles, onions, and sesame seed bun.
Yeah,
That's
just that.
Yeah, okay, cool.
And everyone's confused by it, and no one understands what it's about. But what we discover is that Yukiko has actually she reveals that she's been behind this whole thing from the very, very start. She was the one, because she was the palm reader. She knew all of this. She knew about the 2 whole beef patties.
Of course she did.
And she was the one that had told the angels that the McMuffin was where it was. She's the one that set that in motion. She was the one that she knew that Yuta was going to come when that happened. And why? Because she's going to be the one to ascend to the pantheon of frat bros and gods. And one of the powers that the McMuffin brings is the power to jaunt. So she grabs her brother and she says to Yuta that, the whole reason I brought you back was just so that I could say goodbye. And she just leaves him. She just leaves him. And what we have with that blood transfer that happened, no powers in those angels. The McDonald's seeps into your bloodstream, and that's where the power coalesces. So he can't follow them. He's gone. He has to live out his years there. But not Yukako. Not Yuta.
No.
They jaunt to the spaceship. They find the other frat bros. They find the other demigod type characters, and Yukako goes, "Hey, I'm a god now." Scene. And then some other stuff happens. I don't know.
And the next chapter is another poem.
This one's about hash browns.
This one's about hash brown with Vegemite, man. I'm going to do that when we go to Australia. Meet me for breakfast. I'll shout you.
Okay.
Okay. So, wow. This went really far off the rails.
Yeah, but I reckon we end there because we've been going for an hour, Dom.
Okay. She's a god. The end.
The end.
Read more in what is it? The Invincibles? No, that's a different one.
Well, let's see
in the Impossibles.
The Impossibles. Yeah.
Okay. Can I read it?
Book 2?
Can I read it?
Yeah, you read it.
No. This is book 1. But in book 2, we find out what happens to old Yukako after she ascends. All right. Look, blurb. Neptune is in peril.
No,
remember when I said it was like a satellite and it was totally away? What I meant was that the island was actually floating on Neptune. Did I not make that clear?
Right.
I feel silly. Okay. What the heck?
Are you reading last episodes?
I totally am.
Yeah. Do you want me to read the blurb since I've got it here?
I've got your notes.
Yeah.
And you just stopped halfway through and we ended up with the book blurb from the next one. You're the worst.
No, I think you might be looking at the wrong notes there, buddy. This is why I am the host. So, locked away for a millennium, the Anua lived in blissful separation from the human world by a powerful barrier. Yukako, a cheeky young barrier user and the direct descendant of Yuka the Brave, a powerful monarch to both angels and barrier user Anua, spent her youth with her mother, father, and twin brother. Well, they were twins. We've got that. And I think so far we're pretty on. The Yuka the Brave has like the both powers, so we nailed that. Both tensions rose too far due to an illegal union between her parents, resulting in the vile slaughter of her clan and her uncle, who raised her for 10 years after. With nothing left to use, Yukako shatters the barrier, goes to space, protecting her island, and joins the humans on the mainland of New Uniting 3025. So it's not the year, it's the place? I don't know, we'll have to read later to find out. After a mystical ancient being gifts her with a legendary power said to be wielded by Yuka. McMuffin.
It was a McMuffin.
Yeah.
It was Mayor McCheese.
It's Grimace. She makes fast friends with 2 uniquely quirky humans and a gruff angel who escaped his own island years prior. Yes, this is what happens in the next book on the spaceship.
Yeah.
Together they navigate this new world, uncover the mysterious inconsistencies about Yuka's legend. All right, we got the legend was a farce.
It was inconsistent.
And learn that a blended found family is not always perfect. But when a freak accident sends Yukako back 1,000 years to meet Yuka face to face, hey, they met, we just didn't do the time travel. Yeah. Will the legend live up to the truth? No. Turns out she's actually a frat bro. Nailed it.
Yeah, I think we did good. I think we nailed it. I think what we're seeing here is a really consistent season.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're great.
Yeah. Oh, no, I like that. So, in terms of soup, what do you reckon?
I'm just quickly having a look. Has McDonald's ever sold soup? McDonald's soup in the US. There's a McDonald's sold soup in the 1990s. It was called the McSoup. They tested 2 flavors: chicken noodle and broccoli and cheese. McSoup. I'm giving it a McSoup.
I'm going to be specific. I'm going to say a broccoli and cheese McSoup.
Yeah. Well, obviously.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about how far the author strayed from our idea.
How dare they?
I know. No, I am very excited to read some more of Tanikia's books. The fact that she pounded out, what was it, 8 in 6 months or 6 and 8 months? Like
something like that, yeah.
That's pretty amazing. So
that's a powerful insomnia.
Yeah, like way to use your superpowers.
Yeah.
Because I don't do well if I don't sleep.
No.
So yeah, chicken broccoli. What did I say? Cheesy broccoli soup. That actually sounds pretty good right now.
Yeah, you're gonna go McDonald's and see if they'll make one up for you.
We could ask. Yeah,
it can't hurt to try.
Yeah, and for our Melbourne listeners, we're actually going to be in the same city.
Hey.
In August, Shannon and I will be visiting. Shannon will be visiting too because he lives in the country. At some stage. So if any of you own a pub and want us to do a live show, we're up for it. Just saying. Just putting it out there. Yeah. Or if you want to just buy us a coffee or some soup, hit us up on social media.
Yeah, we're happy to meet with strangers from the internet.
Yeah, always.
We have no sense of self-preservation at all.
That's basically how Shannon and I met.
Yep. Great.
Yeah.
And on that note, let's call it a day for now. We've gone well over time, so thank you for listening. As always, we love you immensely, and we will meet you in person. We'll come to your house.
Yeah. Insert outro music.